Welcome to day 7. Day 7 of 7 in this week where we are trying to set up our homeschool for the first time or maybe tweak some things in an organized fashion, in a non overwhelming way, morning, evening, afternoon, and evening. 3 different sessions per day, 30 minutes each. Don't let it go on for too long. You don't need to be overwhelmed. You just need to take it one step at a time. I've been giving you quick wins for every day, for every session. There are some systems that you've already put in place. This is day 7. What do we do on day 7? We are planning for sustainable success, right? This is not a sprint. It's going to be a marathon. If you want your homeschool to last, if you want to go on year after year after year, if you want to even finish the year in your homeschool, you need some sustainable success. How do you do that? Number 1, self-care plan. That will be your morning session. So take 30 minutes and come up with a few things for self-care. How do we take care of mama? When my kids were small, they used to get books every month from the Imagination Library that was set up by Dolly Parton through her Dollywood Foundation, which, by the way, you can too. If you live anywhere in the United States and even some other countries, check out the Imagination Library. One of these books was called Taking Care of Mama. The mother was sick. It was a beautiful picture book for kids. The mom was sick, and the kids and the dad took care of mom for the day. So you don't have to be sick. You want to prevent yourself from going a little frazzled. Let's call it frazzled. So you need your daily quiet time. Plan for that. That's your quick win for the morning session. Set up your morning self-care routine. Everybody needs a morning routine. Even if you're not a morning person, you need some kind of morning routine that's taking care of your needs, that kind of recharges your batteries. Even if it's just 5 minutes of breathing and meditation or yoga or some stretches or a green tea or coffee or something, water, right? 2 cups of warm water. I need that in the morning. First thing, 2 cups of water. I know it sounds a little gross for some people. Everybody needs a morning routine. So set that up, whatever makes you feel happy and energized in the morning. So plan your daily quiet time. There's a quiet time that you could take in the afternoon while the kids are taking naps when they're small. But we're talking about the morning routine. That's one time. And then there's also the quiet time that you could take in the afternoon. And there's a weekly planning time where you should not be interrupted. And that's when you look ahead. Usually a lot of people do this on Sunday evening. You look ahead at the entire week and you say, this is what we're going to do. You remind yourself, you remind other people, you set up things. Maybe you load up your car in the evening on Sunday if you're going somewhere on Monday morning. I know people who do that. They just load things up in the car as needed. How about a monthly parent date, right? Where you and your husband can plan. Maybe you cannot do this every week, so let's go monthly. Can you have 12 dates that you set up on your schedule, on your calendar, where you and your husband get together once a month and you've got a babysitter, you've got the kids with grandma, however that works out. And backup systems. You're going to need some backup systems for sick days, for emergencies. You might be sick, the kids might be sick, so you got to get all that organized. Now that takes us to the afternoon. In the afternoon, what do we do? Progress tracking. You're going to need some kind of an evaluation method, a weekly check-in or a monthly assessment or a portfolio review. If you guys are working on a portfolio, you want to have some progress reports, you want to have some kind of progress photos. Start a blog. That's what I did. I started my blog, homeschoolways.com, as a way to monitor the progress, as a way to put out there into the world what we do, And for my own sake, do you know I'm reading my own blog posts from 2013 and I don't remember them? From 2015, from 2021, I don't remember. I look at that and I say, wow, we did that. Wow, how did I have the energy to do all this? I did. So you want to document in some form or shape, digitally, in writing, however you want to do it. Skills checklist. Do you have a checklist for your kids? Can you go through it now and then and say, oh, they can write all the letters of the alphabet. Oh, now they can read on this kind of grade level. Every time something new happens, you need to be able to have a checklist where you write it down, where you check it off. So your quick win for the afternoon is to create your first progress report. Now, hang on a minute. What if I don't have anything to report? Yes, you do. When your children do anything around the house, you know it. And so you can sit down and say, hey, he can brush his own teeth. He remembered to do this. Or, you know, that's health. That's science, right? They put their toys away. You can write down, my children can follow a simple command. My obedience, by the way, in preschool, if you are in preschool with your children, obedience is preschool 101. I'm going to say that again. In preschool, the number one lesson, the preschool 101, is obedience. So you have to be able to have a relationship with your children where you say something and they have to do it, right? They do it. So work on that first progress report, character issues, academic skills, fine motor skills, gross motor skills. There are so many things that you could report. Can they ride a bike without training wheels? That could go in your first progress report. Just come up with something. Like I took my kids when they were in preschool outside and I said, draw what you see. And my son drew moss. He was in the grass outside in front of our house and he saw moss with the grass and he drew some moss and then he wrote MOSS because he knew how to write, how to print, they call it, uppercase letters. He drew moss. That was his first nature journal page, in a way. All right, what about the evening? In the evening, your quick win will be to schedule your first monthly review. Whoa, look at you go. Now you've got a monthly review coming up. Set it up. And so that will help you realize, okay, I need to get things ready. This is becoming real. I've got curriculum adjustments planned. I've got schedule modification. Let's talk about curriculum adjustments for a second. How many weeks do you use a curriculum before you give up on it? That's a question you need to answer for yourself. For me, it was like 6 weeks, unless it was really awful. A lot of people go 6 weeks with a curriculum before they put it away. That's a curriculum adjustment. So you have to think, if it doesn't serve you, you got to get rid of it. Schedule modifications. How flexible are you? You got to have this flexibility framework. That's where you work out of. Troubleshooting guide, learning style shifts, right? Children change, they adapt, they become a different person. Do you need to adapt with them? And set some review dates. So everything's becoming very real, very clear. Your quick win is to schedule your first monthly review. Here are some power tips for this whole week and then as you go forth in your homeschool. Progress over perfection. It's like a framework that you need to keep in mind and remind yourself of. Consistency over intensity. Don't homeschool so hard on Monday that by Tuesday you are exhausted. Just be consistent. Connection over completion. Don't insist that a child that's crying finish their worksheet. Okay? Connect with them. Connection over completion. Growth over grades. As long as you see growth, don't worry about the grade. You cannot do it all. Prioritize. Different seasons need different systems. I've sort of addressed new homeschoolers or maybe people who are trying to reorganize their homeschool. But you have to adjust to a new season maybe. What works for others may not work for you. This is the toughest part because you see some people go, over here and do 2 instruments and your child is struggling with one and it's very hard, but don't compare yourself. And then a few more thoughts just to finish with this whole mindset. You've got to maybe take some notes as I finish the video. Keep communication open with your children. Celebrate the small wins. Very important. Celebrate the small wins. Sometimes you say thank you to a child or I appreciate you for, and this whole thing gushes out of them. Whoa. Very important. Appreciate your children. Celebrate their small wins. I would also encourage you to review the complete guide, maybe rewatch some of these videos, choose your top 3 priorities, work on those for the next week, schedule the implementation, right? I've given you some steps. Some of them were very concrete, do this now, and others were like, maybe do this in the future, research. This is the time to schedule the implementation of what we've been discussing. Plan your first review date. That's when you review everything that you've done and you're like, okay, it's becoming real. And then connect with your support system. Again, plug in, even if it's July. Let's say it's July, you're watching this in July, you're starting in August. Reach out to somebody in July. I did. The coordinator of this one particular support system praised me. She's like, I commend you. In July, nobody homeschools in July. Nobody does anything in July. And here you are emailing me, when is the first August date when we get together? Just do anything concrete today. Plan things, go forth and conquer. Stay organized, reach out to me as needed. And I'll see you in the next video.